Everybody. It is Wednesday morning, September the 18th, 8 a.m. Rise and shine. Good morning. Good morning. It is a beautiful start to the day, isn't it? I'm Wesh 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together just about every day at 8 o'clock. I try to do every day. I can't ever promise it, but I do my best. At any rate, let's talk about the local stuff. And then I do really want to get into the tropics. And I want to make sure that we have like a real conversation because I'm already seeing this massive hype machine beginning with tropical stuff. And this is where we need to chat. So anyway, let's talk local and then we'll get to it. Here's a live look outside. How pretty is that shot? The sun is up over New Smyrna Beach. It is a beautiful, beautiful start to the day. Love that. Orlando International Airport. Let's peek in, see how things are doing. Oh, man. How pretty is that? Yeah, the skies are just about clear. Oh, be a beautiful day to go flying today. To Tavares we go. I'm not going to hit all our tower cams. It's just gorgeous. Look at how pretty that is. It almost looks like a winter's morning. Call me crazy. I mean, we're technically not even to fall yet, but it almost looks like a winter's morning there, doesn't it? Downtown Orlando, we'll pop over to you real quick. So pretty. A little haze. The haze lets us know we're still in summer, right? All right, Ocala. Where's that button? There's the button. All right, let's check in with Ocala, see how it is. Oh, it is so pretty outside. My friends, we are just mere days away from fall. You ready for this? It's the final countdown. Dee-doo-dee-doo. Dee-doo-dee-doo-doo. Dee-doo-dee-doo. The final countdown. 4 days to go. September the 22nd. It's less than a week away. Now, don't expect temperatures to just like slap us with cool, but at least emotionally, we're getting there. All right. Outside right now. First warning live Doppler radar. Scanning around and not really seeing much in our area. You got to love that. Temperatures out the door, 70s. Lower 70s in some spots. Orlando feels really nice outside, frankly. Forecast today brings our temperatures into the lower 90s again. Running to about 92 in Orlando. Lunchtime temperature 89, 90, so it's really looking good area wide. There's the rain chances, though, 30, 40% coverage. Right? So we're getting there. In terms of high temperatures around town, there you go. 92 in Orlando. Average high has dropped to 90. So, you know, we're doing the things. Back over to the beaches, upper 80s to lower 90s. It's a fine forecast day. We've got kind of the same status quo setup here locally that we had yesterday. That means that if you're heading out to, say, Halloween Horror Nights, there you go. Couple of showers, couple of thunder showers. Today's rain coverage, interestingly enough, really wants to focus on our eastern areas. Here's today's rain chances. Highest is basically along the coastal third of our area. Let's take a look at Futurecast. Actually, let's take a look at Futurecast. This is our high resolution run every hour model. All right. There we go. All right. So rolling through time, popcorning up a couple of showers and thunder showers. Yeah, I mean, it really wants to hug the East Coast. So there you go. I mean, in terms of timing, right? Like I'm doing Wesh 2 News at noon. I'm doing Wesh 2 News at 4 today. So 1 o'clock, we're still good. When we see each other during the 1 to 2 p.m. cut-ins, what is that show? Today All Day? 2, 3 o'clock, we're starting to bubble up some showers, right? And then when I see it for Wesh 2 News at 4, I'll have a couple areas. Nothing too widespread. And then 5, 6 kind of fades on out, all right? Now, rain chances next couple of days. Not out of control. Thankfully, the grass grew, got a ton of rain last couple of weeks. We're kind of transitioning out of it, and rain chances go down. Tomorrow, even lower, 30% chance. Really not a bad forecast setup. So that's kind of where we're at locally. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Do we have anything before we move on? see where we're at. So rain chances going down the next couple of days. Here's Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast. And yeah, 30, 40, even this weekend, look at that, going down into the upper range of the 80s. It's not a cold front. Actually, let's do this. It's not a cold front, but I'll take it. Our local temperatures are looking better and better. This, of course, that's the national blend of models. Let's look at the GFS highs and lows. And one thing that this is telling me is that while, yes, in conjunction with our this is just raw GFS numbers, but our 7-day forecast is showing the highs in the 80s. We're not going like the GFS has got 85, for example, for a high temperature on September 24th, which is Tuesday. And you can very clearly see we are not going crazy on that with our 7-day forecast. Model data, forecast. Somebody reviewed this, computer mathematics. So anyway, but notice the morning low temperatures, 70s. So it's not like we're going to be getting slapped with beautiful cooler air. Yeah. So there it is. All right. All right. Debbie says, not a bad forecast. I have an indoor market this Sunday. It doesn't even look like it would be bad for an outdoor market, frankly. You know? Oh, well. All right. Anything more on our local forecast? Otherwise, I want to spend a significant portion of time today on our tropical stuff. All right. Anything? I see some people on YouTube already talking about the tropical stuff. So let me. I'm seeing the comments. So B is asking me to tell someone else to stop hyping. I am responsible for myself. So I'm not. I can't control anybody else from hyping. But I've always said knowledge is power. So I see a lot of you talking about the tropics and the hype and all this fun stuff. So let's just discuss where we're at in the tropical basin, and let's get into data. And again, I would also always say, feel free to share Coffee Talk with friends or family, because this is, I hope, at a completely no hype place. All right, in the tropics, there is one area we're watching, the remnants of what was at one point in time Tropical Storm Gordon. It has completely fallen apart, but it's out there. It has a 60% chance of regenerating over the next 7 days' time. Not a bother to us. This is the area, though, that we will need to watch. There's nothing there right now, like nothing. Let's come to the satellite imagery there now. Nothing. But models are showing that something will try to develop here, okay? I would say we've been discussing this for a few days' time. So if you're a Coffee Talk viewer, hang out with us each morning. This is no surprise. And even yesterday, I was saying the Hurricane Center should circle it. And they did. So over the next 2 days' time, not expecting anything. But over the next 7 days' time, there is a 20% likelihood that something gets going. A lot of people are asking about, is this page reliable? Is this page? I will just say this. If somebody's hyping it, you know, and thus question that, right? There are people that are going to share data. There are people that are going to share hype. My father would always say the hardest thing to find in life is the truth sometimes, you know? So anyway, we're just going to talk about it. So there's nothing there now, but essentially there's an old front. A little CAG is going to roll off of Central America and probably try to bubble up something down here, okay? Now, did I mention that there's nothing there yet? That's where we're at, okay? Some people are talking about being concerned about boarding up. Slow down. Nothing exists. Nothing is named. There's not even an inkling of anything there just yet, okay? All right, so what's going on with the models? All right, let's just look at the European and the GFS side by side. And basically we've got moisture, Saturday, Sunday, we've got moisture. Watch, I'm going to stop it right here. So this is Monday, as in September 23rd, as in next Monday. Both models have moisture bubbling up in the Caribbean, but it's still weak and it's still sloppy and it's still unorganized. There's Thursday, September 26th. On the right side, the American GFS model has some form of a tropical system forming and heading toward our favorite state, Florida. Whereas the Europeans kind of just got weak, sloppy moisture out in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, if I were to just share scary looking model runs, sure, that would freak people out. But the key here is that we have to understand one run of one model is just that, one run of one model, okay? So let's do this. Let's look at raw model data. We're going to do it together, and we're going to try and get an idea of what is going to happen here, all right? I will just say the reality is you're not going to know what's going to happen, at least not yet. The models are giving data, but it's just far too early, all right? So this is the American GFS model, 06Z, the most recent run. All right, this is looking at mean sea level pressure normalized anomaly. In other words, it's looking at pressures. First off, you got something out near Bermuda trying to form some sort of a lowering of pressure. That's the greens and purples on like the top right part of your screen. But look just south of Cuba, southwest of Cuba. That's the area that we're watching. All right, so watch something bubbling up. You start to see those purples in the Gulf of Mexico. 991, what is that, a 9? Let me just double check. 990, that's a 990 millibar low. Weaker, it's not a Cat 5, essentially. All right. So, and it's got that area of low pressure like deepening and moving ashore in the Panhandle. That's the current run of the GFS. Okay, and I saw somebody had mentioned this. Where is it? Brian says trends are your friends. Yeah, when it comes to computer models, we're looking at trends. That's all we're looking at, okay? So, this is the current run of the GFS, developing an area of low pressure, bringing it in Thursday night. You see the top right, it says valid 00Z Friday, 27th of September. 00Z is actually 8 p.m. Thursday night. So, Panhandle Thursday night. Let's go back one model run, and it was more Big Bend, and it was stronger. Go back 2 model runs, Big Bend, 3 model runs, and it was like Pinellas to the Big Bend. So the GFS we're observing is a kind of a Big Bend Panhandle type thing. Okay, right around Thursday afternoon of next week, the 26th. Okay, that's the current GFS. Now, this is the operational GFS, which means one run of one model. What we can actually do is go inside that and look at the ensembles. So let's just back that up. And the ensembles are showing, this is 30 different runs of the GFS. All right. And yeah, they're definitely hanging on the eastern side of the Gulf of Mexico. Florida really needing to watch this. So because of that, we really need to watch. Spencer says the GFS is always hyping. I mean, sure, I don't disagree with that. That's the GFS. So let's go back, let's reset, let's come over to the European. You notice these maps are not like as pretty. These are just raw model data maps. I don't show this on TV. We have to dress it up a little bit for TV, but on Coffee Talk, we get a little more in the raw. So watch through time how something, pressures try to drop a little bit in the Caribbean this weekend, and then what you end up with is around September 27th, 28th, you end up with a weak sloppy low in like the Bay of Campeche. All right. So that's the European operational model. Let's reset. Let's look at the European AI model. Okay. It's all over the place. What is it trying to do? It's trying to bring it over toward like the Texas-Mexico coastline and then get hurled to the right. Interesting. All right. So there's that. Let's look at the European ensemble plots. So each one of those is an ensemble member. So essentially, most everything is wanting to be like from Louisiana toward Florida. So we're seeing plenty of ensembles showing that agreement. So thus we need to watch. All right, couple more. This is the Canadian Gem model. Big Bend. Let's go one run back. Big Bend. Two runs back. Okay. Consistency run to run and consistency among models. The GFS and the Canadian are pretty closely agreed. Canadian ensembles. They're not all there, but there's the vast majority of the ensembles are showing kind of that Panhandle, Florida, West Coast through Panhandle, and then there's some ensemble members that are separate. But in other words, we're seeing a growing consistency here among models that not only will there be tropical development, but it is something that very well may be a bit of a threat, something we need to watch. So this is something we need to watch very, very closely. Janice is asking, what do the letters in the GFS stand for? Global Forecast System. Yeah. All right. So this is an area that we need to watch very, very closely. Karen's asking how many inches of rain. There's no way to do that yet. Right now, we're just trying to figure out the pattern, right? Now, I would say that this is something we need to watch. I would also say that using our long range hurricane forecast that we issued on March the 1st, it does fit the Gulf to Carolinas low of the pattern, which was what produced Debbie. The June 20th through 26th, there was an upper level low that came through this area, right? August 5th through the 12th was Debbie, and then September 20th through the 28th is this part of the pattern. So this does fit our long range hurricane season forecast. Okay? So we just need to watch it. I will tell you this, there's no reason to be freaked out. I will also tell you this, there's no reason to be freaked out. And one other thing that I want to let you, there's no reason to be freaked out. There's going to be people that are going to hype it online. I can't control them. If you're seeing people, all I will say is, as my mother would always teach, consider the source. That's why, it's like there's a lot of crap on the internet. Consider the source. You know, I've always said to you, I will work hard to not only earn your trust, but to keep it. And I'm not going to be a hyper. I'm going to give you the data and let you know. But this area here is something we're going to need to watch. As in us, as in not just because we're nerds, but as in it could potentially be an impactor. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at. So, questions, comments, concerns. Roxanne says, so basically it's Florida. Nah, there's really, when you look at everything, okay, let's just call a spade here. When you look at everything, Florida has the potential of an impact from it. So to that point, yeah, we absolutely are going to need to watch. When it comes to the scenarios, you've kind of got and when this graphic was made, Tony was just trying to oversimplify. But you could say the GFS and the Canadian a bit stronger, thus it lifts to the north. There's more Florida impacts, whereas the European is still wanting to go weaker and west, at least operationally. The ensembles on the European are also talking Florida as much as they're going west. And that's the power of the ensembles. It's like, okay, I know the European operational is going west, but a lot of the ensemble members are taking it east. So it hasn't decided, it hasn't keyed in. So when you see people online, like I'm always laughing, people are like, lock it in. We don't even have a storm system to deal with yet. Like, we don't even have a storm system that's formed. So to this point, slow down. But But we watch, we wait, and we see. Okay? And so that's the fun of tracking the tropics. Next storm that is named will be Helene. We did not get Helene forming off the coast of the Carolinas. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at. So at the moment, at least, we're really looking at those kind of two scenarios. Something does look to develop. We'll see which way it plays out. Chris is asking, did I tell my... I did not. Not yet. One of y'all that knows her may, but I'm not yet. Yeah. All right. Now it's time. Now I can read more and more questions here. Roxanne says, well, I'm in Louisiana, so since it's trending, it's not coming here. I'm no longer going to watch it. That's foolish. Nothing has formed yet, Roxanne. If you live in Louisiana, you should be better than that. Okay? We don't know where it's going to go. Charles is asking, will this be our first Cat 6? No, thankfully it will not. Thankfully it will not. All right. Other questions? Jessica, if you look, you can see the majority of the models show Florida. Yes, but they flip-flop, and it's absolutely not set in stone. Let me be very clear. There's nothing that has developed yet. And until it develops, the models are just kind of throwing darts through smoke. They're giving us data. We're getting an idea, but it's still throwing darts through smoke. You still don't know if it's hitting the target yet. You know? So keep that in mind. All right. I heard Tony talking about wind shear. There's a lot of things certainly that will play out. Wind shear, troughs, ridges of high pressure. At this point in time, we don't even know the atmosphere it sets up in. And that's pretty important, okay? Michelle, should I worry about flights leaving out of Orlando next Friday? Not yet. Shouldn't be worried about anything. Deborah, can there be a chance nothing develops? Absolutely. Yeah, nothing is set in stone yet. We're fine. PM says models have been bad this year overall. Perfect. And that's why when somebody says like, oh, well, the models are trending away from me, so I don't need to worry. It's like, Roxanne, I love you, but you should be better than that. Nothing. It's okay.
I'm scared.
You don't need to be scared.
And I don't know how we get back in night ready.
You don't know?
Yeah, but I finished a lesson.
You need to finish another lesson. We have a doctor's appointment after coffee talk, so he's not skipping school. Let me go talk amongst yourselves while I go get him set back up in his computer lesson. I'll be right back, people. Talk amongst yourselves. Hype is not good. Discuss. Let's go, Bubba. Okay. Where were we? Spencer says if you freak out, you're not a true Floridian. That's the comment I came back to. Okay. Feel like the teacher just left the classroom and now we can go crazy. No, you cannot, Faith. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Janice says no hype. This is a no hype zone, people. This is a no hype zone. I'm going to give you the data, but I'm also going to tell you to calm the heck down, just like my kids. I'm going to parent you. X Gordon, if it regenerates, will it retain the name Gordon? It should, yes. Charles says, I only worry if the meteorologist's jacket comes off and the sleeves are rolled up. Oh. I do that every day. The jacket, literally, Charles, my image consultant has told me every day, do weather hits without the jacket and with your sleeves rolled up. John, all right, he's gone, so we're about to die right now. Hopefully not. Hopefully not anytime soon. Jessica says, thank you for always providing us with the information and data without all the hype. I've learned so much the last few years from watching this. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Janice says, we need calming sometime. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Bill says, I have hurricane PTSD. That's why I'm here, to help you calm the heck down. And the truth of the matter is, that's why I take this job so seriously. That's why I tell you all the time, it's one thing to earn your trust, and I appreciate that. It's going to always be another thing to keep it, and I will always work hard for that. Always. I'm always going to work for that. And hopefully you'll see that over the years. I grew up in Central Florida. I've lived in Florida my entire life. I have no interest in leaving. So y'all are stuck with me. Well, you're not stuck with me. You go turn the channel, find on some other. You could go find a hyper online. That's fine. You could do that if you want. Roxanne says so. Basically, the YouTubers are doing it for the hype to get clicks. Yeah, yeah. People hype for clicks. Whatever. I'm not measuring my life's worth on popularity online or on TV. You know what I mean? I'm just not. It's great we get to do this and hang out. I love this, but the reality is I don't want people here that are here just because I scared them. That's absolutely not who I'm trying to be with. You're sleepy, buddy. You slept like 12 hours. Why were you still awake? Finish that one lesson we just opened. We're leaving here in 3 minutes, okay? You cannot take a nap. Stella doesn't get to do anything because she doesn't have to go to school and doctor's appointments. She does sometimes, like this week. And her doctor's appointments are expensive too. All right, people. So that's where we're at, okay? I've got to take little man for a doctor's appointment here in a couple of minutes, okay? Armand says it best. Bottom line is just pay attention to the weather, especially this time of year. That's all. That's all. He thinks if he can take a nap, he can skip the doctor. Yeah, there's no skipping the doctor. You love the doctor. That's right. All right. That's what we got. All right. We'll be tracking it. I'll see you today on WESH 2 News at noon and at 4. Okay. And I'll be posting data with no hype. As I mentioned, feel free to share this. Hi, everybody. Feel free to share this with friends, family, updates on the tropics. Okay. Sound good? Are you applauding me? Thank you. All right. We'll see you all today on TV. Be the sunshine in someone else's day.